It goes without saying, there are a lot of things within the Don't Starve games, be them useful to the player, or that of something that wants to eat your face off. But do you know of the things actually called things? No? Well then, ain't that something. Today, we talk the wooden thing of normal Don't Starve, the wooden platform thing of the high seas of Shipwrecked, and the newest edition stone thing from Don't Starve Hamlet. Finding these things is hard enough, and that's only parts of the equation, so we are gonna need some help. But do note that initially these things are going to be protected by a lot of clockworks among evil flowers, marble trees, and even within a chest biome if we're talking Reign of Giants. But enter the Divining Rod, a solo Don't Starve exclusive item and one that'll make life all the more simple like. Crafted from an alchemy engine with a simple twig, nightmare fuel, and a gear, the Divining Rod serves as a radar for things or even Maxwell's door. But gosh, I'm gonna say things about 100 times a day, aren't I? However, if you're far away from something, you'll see very little activity and hardly any noise from the device itself. But begin to edge closer to something, and the louder and crazier it gets. This is our ticket to faster finding and gathering of the things needed to alter our existences. So let's do it. One thing we need to find is the metal potato thing. It will always spawn and has its own set piece located by basic farms, grass, twigs, maybe even a shovel, carrots, and is usually split by a cobblestone road, so get to divining for it. The box thing is next, and it too has its own special place when it spawns, typically smack dab in the middle of stone walls with evil flowers dotted about. You may even find a lovely gnome friend and a spear nearby too. Oh, and expect it to be on rocky turfs no matter where the set piece actually spawns. The ring thing, at least in normal Don't Starve, is surrounded by a ring of evil flowers, so that is very fitting. But oh yeah, have I mentioned that thankfully none of these things that we're going to be talking about today can be stolen or destroyed by anything, because that is a thing and it's wonderful. But finally, the crank thing. You'll find it next to a pig house on savanna turf, surrounded by evil flowers once more, with additional spiky trees and maybe even an axe to boot. That's all four though, folks, and very nice. Let's head back to the wooden thing, cause now it's time to discuss what this wooden thing even frickin' does. But place the metal potato thing, the box thing, the ring thing, and the crank thing on it in any order to construct a device that you probably really shouldn't have done in the long run. Because if you mess with time and the dark arts, they do tend to usually end up messing back. But in this case, we may have the advantage. How these work is that, unlike the Seaworthy, we use these things to completely destroy the world you choose to leave, and generate a whole new one with fresh resources, mobs, structures, etc. Anything that was in your inventory remains, apart from the eye bone or divining rod, so no duplicating there. But you will remember any recipes already crafted, and keep pre-built crafts along the way. WX will remain upgraded as long as you pick WX again, of course. But best of all, your beards are gonna transfer too. Now that's lovely. It's a new world with new beginnings. But remember how I brought up abusing world hops in our Seaworthy video the other day? Let's talk about that, shall we? It's pretty darn straightforward. Say you're in a shipwrecked world first, and then use the Seaworthy to hop and link into a Reign of Giants one. Then, let's just assume you messed around a little while and gathered up all the resources that you could have imagined and have been bringing them over to Shipwrecked or vice versa. You can then proceed to use one of the things to destroy said resource-light world in order to generate a new and bountiful one without destroying that first Shipwrecked map you have. In short, linked worlds do not regenerate. Only the world in which you actually use the thing do. So yes, there is a way to have infinite numbers of every resource in solo Don't Starve. But now that you know the basics of these things, let's quickly fire through the things and other DLCs. The wooden platform thing in Shipwrecked will also be on a tiny island surrounded by coral reefs and 3 floaty boaty knights. I wouldn't worry about the knights though, getting right up on them, and they can't even hit you, and no, I'm not kidding. My advice is to craft another divining rod if you wish to not only track down this wooden platform thing, but the things needed to build it, like the wooden potato thing, which will be among magma turf, a drying rack, a fire pit, and another poor unfortunate soul lost within the constant. I'm sorry, pal. You don't look so good. The grassy thing is ironically not by any grass at all, but instead is found on jungle turf with a jungle tree, machete, bamboo, evil flowers again, and even a one-man band to boot. It's not bad really, if not random, but hey, quite useful if you know how to use it. The screw thing is like the crank thing, as you'll find it near a wild boar's house, stone walls, grass, and a fishing rod this time around. And I must say, I've always had better luck finding this along with the shark den, but all worlds are different, so quit screwing around and go get it. And finally, the ring thing, but shipwreck style. You'll find it among simple grass, a palm tree, and a bottle on sand as seen here. Again, using a divining rod for all this is gonna help you out, you numpties, so do it. But there you go, all 4 things in Shipwrecked combined and ready, so use them as you wish. But on to Hamlet, and I'm sorry right off the bat. I haven't played much Hamlet personally, so forgive me if I relay some minor improper information along the way. But know that you will be fighting clockworks to get to the stone thing initially. The relic potato thing is relatively simple because as far as I'm aware, it spawns only in Hamlet cities and the surrounding biomes in these little parks. So there you go. Just keep your eyes open as you window shop. The lever thing, not so much. I do believe, though, that it always spawns in front of a guard pig's watchtower atop some wooden flooring with walls, but I think it could be anywhere, but correct me if I'm wrong. The rock thing is squared in by evil flowers, and you'll even find some carrots right for the plundering too. I'm not sure again if this can spawn anywhere, but I'd imagine that this couldn't be in the jungles, so perhaps just staying out of those while looking for this is the bright idea. And finally, the iron thing, surrounded by ancient pillars and evil flowers atop some ruin like turf, and that's awesome. But again, a divining rod is your saving grace, as there are multiple islands at play here, but I don't think they can even spawn on different islands, but that is another thing I'm not too sure about. I must say too though, I love the unique feel of all 3 when assembled. It is a lovely touch for all 3 experiences. The wooden thing, the wooden platform thing, and the stone thing. Things that some out there may not even have known about until today, or perhaps were unaware of how to properly utilize them. But they are there, and they are now ready to put an end to all other things. I hope you have learned something new today, and thanks for watching everyone. Well wishes to all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.